Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Comic Corner, where we do news, reviews, and interviews. Today, I am your host, TJ, aka Fat Thor, and we have a very special interview for you all. We are joined by friend of the show, Corey Pruitt, aka Tass, the old nerdy bastard, comic author, and probably your favorite comic book Twitter account. Tass, how you doing, buddy?
Yo, we live, we good right now, right? It's 10 a.m. in California, and I'm off a lot of Mountain Dew. Let's get to it. Yo, check it out. Let's start this out with some bars. Check it. I wrote a rap like I was Mark Spector, Moon Knight. Can I do that?
Yes, bro.
Okay,
spit it. Yes.
Bust it. I'm a god in my city, never known for offering pity. Don't ask why I'm dressed in all white, my nigga. I want them to see me. The name is Mark Spector. Yeah, I died once, but trust I got better. Hot-headed, lethal protector. I'm Eddie Brock Lesnar. Got cheddar in the billions. Bad chicks, black and Sicilian. Straight killing like I'm Wade Wilson or that Blade nigga. I'm lit tonight. Out here whipping white, dressed as Mr. Knight. Fiend sniffed the eighth and blew her hair out like Misty Knight. So welcome to the midnight mission. MCs, I might kill him. Whole team of Avengers selling coke. Yo, we got that white vision and motherfucker damn height difference. Ask my nigga Wolverine, adding Jubilee, and truthfully, we started mutiny. I love hearing you scream. Nightmare you fear in your dreams. Killing these niggas in Cairo. I got pyramid schemes. Hit the crescent moon kick. Never confess the bullshit. And never talk to me about beef unless it's Roof Chris. So mic check, 1, 2. Tell the ladies come through. I walk around with sticks, chopping bricks like it's kung fu. Big gun, got the long nose. I call it Khonshu. Yo, what's good? We here.
Bro.
I got the death grip like Spock, motherfucker. I'm a Vulcan causing havoc like Scott Summers' brother. Let's go.
Whew, bro, Eddie Brock Lesnar. That's crazy, bro, dude. Y'all didn't know you're getting a musical performance in this interview too. God damn, Taz, you know how to make it.
Rap, man. I used to rap, and let me bust it. I used to rap, and this dude did a documentary on me recently.
Oh, I didn't even know. Find that. Yo, someone in the chat put that in the comments.
I'm posting in there. He ripped me to shreds. He was talking about how fake I am. He was talking all types of shit. I was like, oh shit.
Oh man, I thought it was a good one. Cool. Never mind. Don't put it in the chat.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. I'm okay with it. Because when you do hip hop, especially when it comes to comic books and shit, when you create something, let's just not say hip hop. When you create something, you have to accept both. You have to accept the love and the hate. And if you're not prepared to accept the hate, then don't even do it at all. That's one of the biggest advices I have. I'm like, when you create, you have to be willing. Like, for example, we're doing this right now. Someone can take your clips, clip your shit out, and make you look stupid as fuck. But that's what comes with it.
Easily.
That's what comes with it. It's stupid as fuck, but that's the game. So that's where I'm at with it. So that's why I just wanted to rap today and combine my two worlds, because that's what I feel like I enjoy doing.
And that's why we love you, Taz, because you are unapologetically yourself always, and that's what I've always admired about you. That's why I admire about your work and what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, so this is officially your first time on the Comic Corner, but we have been fortunate enough to sit down before. You can go check out those on my other channel, Sons of Milnir, and we've been friends for a good while now. And
yes, we have.
For all the people out there that may be watching and listening that hasn't tuned into that, or maybe aren't as aware of you as all of us in the Twitter community are, I want to just start off with a little bit of origin story like we typically do. So we'll run through this really quickly so we can get through the meat of the good stuff. But grew up in South Sacramento. Your first exposure to comic books really was when your neighbor came and brought a bunch of comic books from the swap meet. Some specifics that you like to mention: X-Men, Spider-Man, DC Warlord, which, you know, super deep cut, JSA. So those all kind of were your early experiences and really kind of started you off on this kind of comic book journey. But something that we've talked about before, and something that you are very vocal about and talk about, is the differences of nerd culture. And specifically, you talk about, you know, growing up and getting into comic books. You felt that most people in the comic book community didn't really come from where you came from.
Yes.
So all that being said, I kind of wanted to start this off by talking about what were some of those struggles of navigating that as you were younger, and again, since I'm a dumb white person, can you just kind of explain like wanting to be accepted into these predominantly white nerd spaces while also staying true to your own identity and who you were?
God, it's a great one. You good at this shit. You're a good one. Yes, he's right. TJ's right. We've known each other for so long. Let's start with this. First of all, my brother, Ramadan Mubarak to you, bro. Shout out Muslim brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, speaking on that, that's something I grew up with. I grew up with Muslims. I grew up with Latinos. I grew up with all types of races growing up in South Sacramento. It was predominantly black, but we also had little pockets here and there. I'll reveal my real age. I'm 43 years old. I've been reading since I was 3. And so I have 40 years of knowledge. Like I know my shit. And I think that's why a lot of people get mad at me, because I actually know my shit. I'm not just talking out my ass. Like, like I'm like, bro, someone will say some shit and I'll be like, that's not true. That's not true. And episode of Amazing Fantasy, number blah, 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 blah. That's just the type of nigga I was.
Yep.
And anyone in my age and from where I come from, if they tell you that there was a overabundance of black geek fans in our area, I say that it fluctuates. For example, this was before the internet. Nowadays, look at me and you. If it wasn't for the internet, me and you wouldn't have known each other. And when I grew up, there weren't a lot of black geeks like me. There really wasn't. They were very small and in between. When I ran the comic shop, people were always shocked to see me, a black man, running the comic shop. Like I dealt with it daily. And that's why I go so hard for inclusion and everything, because I was outside when it wasn't like that. I was outside when only one nigga had a comic book, and that was Black Panther. There was no one else. And there was a time Black Panther didn't even have one. Like, I was around when there was nothing. Like, you're just going to get a bunch of white dudes. And so it's always important for me to speak up on it. There's a controversy that's been going on about a guy who explains comics. That's what he does. He explains comics. I don't agree with explaining comic books. I've never liked that, because to me, the best way to experience a comic book is to experience it yourself.
You got to feel it.
You got to feel it, and we all have different interpretations. This is one thing I love about it. For example, someone would ask me if Magneto was a bad guy. My answer is always the same. It depends on who's reading it.
100%.
Because society will say, oh, Magneto's a bad guy. Yeah, he's Magneto. He fights the Avengers. But then when you read the X-Men, they're like, wait a minute, this dude is just fighting back against people who are trying to kill him.
And always fights for mutant empowerment.
One of my favorite moments was in House of X, when Magneto was on the island and the kids went up to talk to him. One of them was afraid. They were like, to speak to you. And Magneto says this line that has stuck in my head. He said, everything I have done is for you. I was like, boom, there it is. He was like, everything I've done is for you, because these niggas are giant robots to kill us.
Literally.
It's just like that. So basically, but there's a guy who explains comics, and I never cared for explaining comics. I guess there's a lot of YouTube pages that do that. I never cared for that because, like I told you before that, but the guy who does it, he is a black man. And or he is mixed, but he is obviously a darker skinned person. This is how I say to people: if you're getting pulled over by the police, what are they saying you are?
Say if they're asking where you're going, then
they're not gonna say a mixed white and black. No, they're gonna say a black man is.
I think that guy's Italian.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. He has a little bit of a Polish, and if not, that's not happening.
Looks like half Italian German to me.
And so the guy on there, I've noticed that he has an AVI of his picture of his face, and his face isn't even dark as he is. His AVI looks like you. To be honest with you, it's like the same skin color, everything. And I was like, okay, I know this guy. I know exactly what he is. And this is why I speak out on stuff like this, because in the black community, in a lot of spaces, actually, not just in the black community, just in spaces general, a lot of people will put up with disrespect, racism, sexism, all that type of stuff. They'll put up with someone doing it if they are into the same thing they are. So that's why there are different accounts who are all about white privilege in, the comic space. They want to propel white people first. You see black people follow them, and you see black people support them. And you'll ask, why are you guys supporting these people who wouldn't even spit on you if you were on fire? And they all have all these different excuses that has everything to do with that. And that pisses me off because I've watched so much progress happen in this comic space when it comes to inclusivity. And it sucks that still to this day, the bigger podcasts and the bigger things are the people who are okay with the racism. They're okay with doing that. Matter of fact, that is a part of it. And that's why we were all upset at Duke, because that was a virtue signal. That was a dog whistle. He came out and said, basically, speaking of today, everybody go get Dakota Universe. Dakota, the one DC's doing. Black History Month. There's a lot of controversy with that as well. So the guys were asking him to talk about the stuff, and he openly said, I don't talk about black politics. Now, when that happened, I spoke up on that, and I said, look, bust it, man. I get what he is, bro. I get what it is. That when he said, I don't speak on black politics, what he meant to say was, hey, all you racist white people, this is a safe space. You could come over here. I'm one of the good ones. You can come over here. I'm not going to talk about that stuff, that stuff that you guys don't like. I'm one of the good ones. And of course, if you go to his comments, it's all people just say, yeah, black people shouldn't do that. Black people shouldn't do that. So that's why I speak more on it. I speak more on it because I feel like someone should do it. It is important. When it comes to the Dakota Universe stuff that drops today, I'll be honest, I was never even the biggest fan of Milestone. I was a bigger fan of what they represent. Icon, I couldn't get into. Rocket, I couldn't get into. I like Zombie, XOMBI. That's another thing. Milestone did more than just black stuff, black people stuff. They did a bunch of different stuff. Zombie was Asian. And things like that. Like, they were all about it, but it was mostly black. But yeah, I got into stuff like that. But I talk about Milestone too because I love comics. And that's what upset people about that dude. We thought you loved comics. We thought you loved comics in general, as in all comics, not just specific ones. There are times when people will ask me about characters I do not like, but you know what? I love the genre so much, and I love it so much. I love sharing my knowledge of comics. And if I can get someone into any type of comic character, even if it's someone I don't like, if I can be a part of that, what's the problem? And that's the type of shit it's on. That's why I respect people like you guys. I respect people like you guys because it's easy to go over there and do the racism stuff. It's easy to say, hey, all you racist people, you can come over here and you will make so much money doing that. You will make so much. But people like us, we have integrity, bro. We have integrity. Like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't go to sleep at night knowing that. Someone said, I owe everything to Milestone. That's salute, bro. Salute to that one.
Shout out Jam.
Yeah, shout out Jam, man. Yeah, y'all know, for real. Like, I got nothing against the Milestone people. I talk about it all the time. Static. I have a saying that a lot of people get mad at me about, but I have no problem talking about it. I feel like people care more about the idea of Milestone more than Milestone. I think they like the idea of it. They like the idea that these black people came together and they created something. And they're like, wow, that's great. Let's talk about it. Now the problem is getting them into the comic shops.
Yeah, and I think that's totally valid. I mean, a lot of people, if you're a normal person, will like that initiative and like that message. But at the end of the day, it's what are they moving off the shelves? And I think that is also on us as the customers and the people who advocate for these things to buy these books and to support these books. Going back to the Dakota incident, like, if these are the type of things you want to see, we need to, like you said, not just support the idea of it, but actually put it into practice. And I think
I'm leaving after this. I'm leaving to the comic shop after this. I'm going to go pick it up. Same
here. And I think that's kind of where a lot of the disconnect comes. Again, I obviously have a place in this argument, you know, being a white person. But from my side of the aisle, you know, the whole argument of, oh, well, like you said, like, oh, we don't do the political stuff here. Like, this is like, that does not exist. That's not a real thing. Like they say, like, oh, you shouldn't see color. And in my opinion, like that's bullshit. Like
That's complete bullshit.
we should see color in the sense of we should recognize these black stories are made from black creators and are showing that perspective. And
Yes.
that is what makes it not only relatable, but for me, interesting at being someone who's not in that community and seeing the reflection of other people's lives. To me,
100.
that's what comic books are always supposed to be. And I mean, comic books were literally made during World War II. Like comics are political. That's
Thank
the
you for
very
saying that.
nature of
Thank
it.
you for saying that. I hate it when people say that because I'm like, dude, did we forget why comics were made in the first fucking place? Let's
Literally,
start there.
Captain America punching Hitler on the first issue. Like
comics were war propaganda. Like
Exactly.
they were given to war. They were given to soldiers to like boost them in battle. That was
Yeah.
the whole point of it. So when people say I don't or it's not political, I always feel away. I'm just like, dog, what the hell?
Well, and I think we can apply that though, like we were talking about, to people of color and black creators, because again, people kind of approach it with the same attitude of like, oh, you know, we can have this, but we don't have to get into the serious topic, you know, like, or whatever. But it's like, that's exactly what it is. And that's what like you were just saying, most people don't come from where I come from. And it's like,
yeah, growing up, no. But nowadays, it's definitely like, and that's why I always had to preface that, was that I had to tell people, yes, there was a world when the internet wasn't the internet. It was a place that you could go on computer and go look up Dragon Ball Z shit. Like that was basically what it was when I was a geek. Like, so when I went to school, the only kids that were into the geek shit that knew about it were the other white kids. So I hung out with them a lot. And that's why I get so mad at that dude, because I tell people I was him. I was him. I'm looking at a projection of myself because I've been reading comics probably just as long as he has, if not more. And I grew up with those white, but eventually I learned, no, that's not the way it is. And I'm glad you said it, because this is what I love about comics so much too, is that you can learn about other cultures. You can learn about other things. I grew up saying Guten Tag to niggas. Guten Tag. And niggas was like, what the fuck is Guten Tag? And I was like, that's the nigga, the blue nigga and the yellow eyes. This nigga right here. I read this comic with this nigga right here. That nigga was saying Guten Tag.
Cask out here in Sacramento speaking German.
Mon Freund and all that fucking shit. And I was in the class saying Guten Tag. And my teacher was from Germany. And that nigga had PTSD because he thought I was a Nazi. He was like, oh shit. It's like, oh fuck. I was like, Guten Tag. He's like, yo, bro, keep that down. Keep that down. It's also funny because my teacher was German. So when I count on my fingers, I do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually do it that way. Everyone gets mad. They're like, dude, why do you do it? My teacher, shout out Mr. Sorensen. He got in trouble for that. They're like, oh, he's teaching us to be Nazis. Anyway. We were all like that. Like, 1, 2, 3. But anyways, yeah, man, I grew up on X-Men, Nightcrawler. My favorite character of all time came from X-Men, Blink. This was a comic that I grew up with. One of the comics I grew up in the hood. It was at the gas station. It was on a spinner rack. It was Astonishing X-Men from Age of Apocalypse. And this character, I always keep her next to me, these two characters, because they made me who I am today. They made me, and what you can see, they look different from everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's what I got into with X-Men, was that, yeah, I don't look like you, but that doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I learned from comic books, and that's why I get so much into inclusion in everything. It is because if I can teach someone about our culture through superheroes, and I think Wonder Man did that great recently with the Haitian family, mm-hmm. and things like that with the Haitian family, and just to learn different stuff like that. And that's what's important to me. And all in all, this is a big long rant, but all in all, this is the story of me and why I feel like this type of shit is important. And things like me and you who come from different cultures, this people need to see more of this.
100%. And I always believe that seeing things that aren't from your, cultural wheelhouse or anything is the best
Yeah.
way to reveal things about yourself and to learn more about your own beliefs and how you see the world.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's a perfect segue into not we'll get into Afro Punks in a second, but this will segue us into Afro Punks. But we're talking about all of this, and unfortunately, right now, it feels like we're kind of taking steps back. I mean, we just had this big DC slate come out with like no black characters at all. And again, we're talking about how much it's important to have this cultural diversity, and we talk about building a bigger table where everyone has a seat. So especially with the Milestone project coming out right now, can you just maybe talk about from your perspective of not only why is it important to recognize black
Mhm,
stories and not
mhm.
again with all of the messaging that comes with it, and also how you try to implement that into your work to again build that bigger table.
This is a great question. This is a great question. Now let's go off the word table. Um, this is what Milestone did, and this is what was important was that they built their own table. Now Journey says Marvel has zero black characters. There's an Ultimate Black Panther comic dropping, like, and the Black Panther 60th anniversary, I think, drops today or last week. It could always be better. It could always be better. But it's important to keep putting them out. But can I say something controversial?
Please.
Okay, let's have this conversation. I want to talk to all y'all who are demanding this stuff. So let's say you demand it, right? They give it, they put it out. Okay, what happens now?
Buy it. That is what I was saying before.
What
You have to
happens
buy
now?
it.
Okay, they make it. Now here's the deal. I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss you guys off. Let's talk about it. These companies are not your personal dream machine. To do all these things, it costs money. Costs money. People have to be paid. People have to. And this is why I created comic books. And I suggest anybody who's into this comic book stuff as much as we are, try to create your own. Just one. And the reason why I say that is that you will gain a new perspective on things. And that was one thing I did when I started making comic books. First of all, the first thing I realized, oh wow, this is very expensive. Very, very expensive. Worked it all at the end, but it was very, very expensive. And because of that, I know how much money goes into making these things. So when you put so much money into something and you don't even make your money back, you're basically, the customers are basically telling you that you shouldn't keep doing this because you're losing money. Like they could keep putting out stuff and we could all be like, wow, that's cool, but like that doesn't keep the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to have that's why a lot of people like me, I'm gonna say the things that people aren't going to say. I'm gonna say it because I'm all about holding people accountable. And the way people talk about Milestone, you would think they would be a top 5 seller. The way that people talk about them, like you would think, oh man, they gotta be top 25, not even top 100. So what is happening? Because like I said, I think people care more about the idea. And today is going to determine that. Today is going to determine what I say. If they don't do the numbers again, I don't think it's fair to keep demanding them to make something that is not selling. That's just my take on it. They'll give it to you. You got the milestone today. You got it. Okay, cool. Now what's next? Static Shock has a comic that coming out right now with Batman Beyond. How many of you guys
Fire,
got it?
by the way. It's
How
fire.
many of you guys got it? I don't see one person talking about it. I don't see one person posting pictures of it. Where is it at? I don't see it.
I'm about to post when we get off of here now because now I
Oh,
feel
no,
bad.
no.
Because I have been reading it. I have been reading it. It's fire.
TJ, shout out to TJ.
No, but that's what I was
kind of fucking up right now. Let me tell you why you're fucking up right now. You white dude and you got it. Bro, you make us black folks look crazy.
Bro, Batman Beyond and Static, come on. How can you pass that up? But I think it just, like I said before, that's I think for me a big issue. And I see this, I feel this personally with Kamala Khan. And it's like, you see all the time, people are like, we love Miss Marvel. We love that. But what did you buy the book? Did you buy the books? Exactly. And it's like, that's when it's on us, where it's like, yes, these companies need to do better and should do better, but we also have a responsibility to show them that this is what we want, not just saying this is what we want, but showing them.
Can you repeat that again? Say that again. We have a responsibility to what?
To show them what we want.
Okay.
Not just tell them.
Exactly.
We have to, again, I mean, the most recent Storm series I'll throw out there because it's been going gangbusters and people showed up for that. And what happened? It got extended. Now they have a new ongoing going. And crazy, right? If people actually buy the books, people usually like them. So
what a fucking concept.
Yeah, exactly.
What a concept. That's what I'm saying. That like I'm the type of dude, like I think differently because like I said, I created comics and I actually worked in the comic space. So when I talk about this type of stuff, I know how to put my feelings to the side. I know how to be like, I feel like this type of stuff should still be coming out, but I also know why it's not. I also know why it's not because, Jadakiss said it best, I can't eat praise. I can't spend praise. Mm-hmm. I can't. Cool. You liked it? Cool. How much did you buy it for?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't buy it. I mean, there's a whole thing online. I don't even think you saw it. When people are seriously arguing that you can be a fan of comics and not actually read it. What kind of bullshit?
Dude. I actually made a tweet about that and I deleted it just because I was like, this is just like so stupid. I don't even want to explain this. Yeah, like
why
I was
is this a conversation?
Yeah. Like, oh my God. I can't.
Then these same type of people will go on there and say, oh, comics are dying. Yeah, nigga, they're dying.
You don't even know how to read, let alone read a fucking comic book.
How would you know that it's dying? How would you know? You don't even read them. So that means not only...
Which, to be fair, you don't read comics either, Taz.
I don't either. I don't. But you know what's funny? That was a joke that started so long ago that I've kind of like forgotten. I'm like, oh yeah, I do tell.
My favorite is every once in a while, like people who don't know you will like retweet something. And it's like, this stupid ass don't even read comics. And like he admitted it.
This is my bio.
I do want to shout out Jam here real quick. He's saying DC has absolute Green Lantern, and I think he put up another one. But yeah, Jam, you're totally right. I think we're more so this is what I was looking for. Marvel has 0 black books. I think he's more so talking about the main line, which I can't. I mean, we have Wonder Man that was just announced, but that's Ultimates. We have Black Panther, which again, Ultimates. We just mentioned one. Sorry, Jam, I have to go against you. Storm. Storm's Mightiest Mutant. Shout out, friend of the show, Mario Audeli. Go pick that up because it is.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
It's great.
Task, let's get back to you and some of your awesome work. Again, I think this is a perfect segue into Afro Punks, your newest comic that you've been working on. And the reason why I say it's a perfect segue is so this is your kind of take on a medieval fantasy type of a theme. And you specifically talk about what inspired you to write this was you noticing a very much lack of diversity in fantasy stories such as Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, whatever have you. So tell us a little bit about Afro Punks. I know a little bit, but for the people at home that haven't seen it, give us the pitch.
So basically, I grew up playing Final Fantasy and all types of RPGs, role-playing RPGs, Knights stuff, Battle Chasers by Joe Madureira is one of my favorites of all time. I grew up off of that, and I've always loved swords and sorceries. And then Lord of the Rings came out, and I was just in love with it. But I noticed there were no black people at all. Then Game of Thrones and more things. Willow was another one I grew up with. I love the Sword of Swords, swords and sorcery. Aragon. I never saw anything of my own, and I remember in a comic book shop, I was talking with a guy about it. And I was like, yo, I really like that. And he brought it up. He was like, well, how do you feel that there's no black people in it at all? And I said, you know what? I wish there was. And I feel like they should do it. And I'll never forget this guy's voice. If I ever find that dude, I don't think I ever will. I want to find him and shake his hand. But he said to me, ha, yeah, you guys don't belong there. And if you think so, why don't you just make your own?
God damn.
And so, while I was mad at him, I realized there was some truth in that. There was some. I'm like, dude, but why don't you just make one? And I'm thinking to myself, where would I even begin? And so I just went on Reddit, and there's this guy who was like, yo, I'm open for comics, you know? And I hit him up and I was like, yo, bro, I've never made one before, but if you like want to invest in me, let's do it. I'll pay you. And we did our first comic. And this one right here, Afro Punks, the Pack Shine Studios, they're from Italy. They hit me up. They read Leaders of the Free, the first comic I did. And they said, hey, we really like what you do and we want to do something with you. And so I pitched them Afro Punks, and I told them the whole concept of it. And what was funny was he's an Italian dude, and even he was like, you know what? You're right. He was like, I watched Game of Thrones and I watched Lord of the Rings. And I did realize that. He was like, that's something that we didn't think about in Italy. And he was telling me about like how things are in Italy. And I'm like, dog, this is what I love about comic bookdom. I met a dude in Italy through this.
Yeah.
Like if I wasn't in, you know how many niggas in my hood have never don't know actual Italian? Not like someone with Italian background, but like a dude that's actually born, raised, and speaks Italian. He taught me Italian words. This is what I love about this stuff. Like you can learn so much, and he learned something. And he said, you know what? He did an Italian podcast, and he says, I'm not a black man, but I feel like they do deserve representation. And if I can help usher that, then let's do it. That's what I tell people. One of the things I hated the most that happened was oh my God, what was this? Oh God, the guy that made the Magic comic that everyone got mad at recently.
Oh, I know here, Damon, our usual, my co-host Damon.
Jesus
He loves Magic,
Christ.
so we were
Where
just
is
talking
my
about this.
phone?
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God. Someone find
Tim
that out.
Seeley.
Let me know. Tim Seeley, thank you. He pitched the first pitch for Blade's daughter, Bloodline. I will never forget this because this is where I first became infamous on Twitter. A bunch of black creators were mad that he created that character and said that that character should be going to a black writer. Here's my thing on this, and I got in trouble for this. I said, we got that one wrong as black people. We got that one wrong. And I might get in trouble for that, but I don't care because this is how I really feel. While I get what you guys are saying, we want black people creating black characters and writing black characters. But why would we be mad that a white person writes a black character? I want more. Give me more. We should want everybody to write I want a black person to write Latino. I want a Latino to write an Asian person. Everyone can learn each other's cultures. When I created my comic Leaders of the Free World, I have people from different cultures. But what I did was I sat down and I spoke to actual people of each culture. I have Polynesians on my team. And I actually sat with a Polynesian family and I learned everything about them. And when I wrote the script, I showed it to actual Polynesian people and said, yo, I want to make sure I get this right. I want to make sure I get this right. Because I made a Polynesian superhero because a friend of mine who's Polynesian asked me, can I name any Polynesian superheroes? And I stopped at Mondo from X-Men. I was like, there's Mondo and I couldn't name one. I was like, oh my God, I can't name a Polynesian superhero. And so other than Mondo. And Mondo don't even really count. Mondo Models don't even do anything.
Right.
Models kind of just there.
Yeah, kind of not the best one, you know, but
Not
it
a
is
great
one, I
representation
guess.
of it. But, I mean, here's your one. Here's your one there, I guess.
Yeah,
So
stop complaining. What do you mean? We got Mondo.
I know.
Yeah.
And so that's why I created one. But I had them do the Polynesian war chant. I actually looked that up and things like that. Like that's what it should be. We shouldn't get mad. And so then what happened with Pistilli? They just ended up canceling the book. And I'm just like, how is that a win? How is that a win? 0 plus 0 equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
We get nothing now. Instead of getting something that another Black creator could have taken and accelerated, case in point, Storm. Look, I'm
Proofs
just
in
like,
the pudding. Proofs in the pudding.
how is that a good thing? I'm just like, someone explain to me, what did we gain from this?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, I thought the idea was inclusion. This is the segregation to me. I'm like, dude, well, I didn't understand that. I just did not. I said, I wish someone could explain that. I want a white dude to have a great concept and be like, you know what? Let me make that character Black. I want that. Why not? Why not? I create characters all the time of different races. I made a Chinese girl the other day. And I'm going to Chinatown in San Francisco. I'm going to go there and get some information and learn some stuff. Like, that's the type of mood, that's the type of stuff I'm on. I love learning new cultures. I love it.
Yeah, I think for some people, it can just kind of get into a slippery slope, which, again, we could probably point to a lot of examples of, but people who don't do what you did and are trying to, you're like, oh, I'm gonna, write this Chinese character, and they're just very stereotypical. They're, implicit bias that they might not even be aware of very much shines through. So I think that's kind of where a lot of people come from, and they are afraid of that happening. But to your point, though, I think we can never develop these characters if we just stay that way. But I can agree and see why people initially might be like, that job could have went to a person of color, right? Like, I get that. But I agree with what you're saying, though, in this situation where he created this character.
It was his idea. Yeah.
It opens doors for Black creators and other creators to come in and build off of that. I mean, Storm was not created by a white guy. I mean, Black Panther was created by Jack Kirby.
Black Lightning.
So, do I wish they were? Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. But
in a perfect world, but that's not the world we live in.
Exactly,
that's not the world we live in. And I think because I also go to therapy too, my therapist always tells me, try not to think like that. Try not to think about what we wish we would. We wish we would. And he said, the reason why he said, I don't like thinking like that, because why would you focus on something that you cannot change in the slightest? You can't change it. It's already happened. So what do? Let's focus on the future. What can we do from now on? And to me, I saw a man who said, hey, I have a great idea for a Black character. And we ripped on him for that. How is that a win? And so that's why when I create my stuff, I always make sure, and I'll give you an example. The girl with the hair in the middle, her name's Auxiliary. I wanted her to have a weird name like Cloud. Oh, look at you. Okay, professional. Okay. Hey. I like that. That was good. You get this. I've never done this before, but you get that. So, yo, bust it. When I was in LA, I was talking to my boy Ron from PLC Culture. Shout out Ron. We were hanging out with his homies, and they were Korean and Asian, and they were doing this. They taught me that. I was like, dude, like, I never even heard this term. And they were like, yo, there's an emoji of it.
I say, you're not online enough, my friend. You're not.
I'm not, I guess. But they taught me that because, like, and I appreciate it. Now I know that. And, like, dude, I'm a poor ghetto boy from Sacramento, California. What the hell is this? What is this?
Hey,
but I learned it.
Got to brush up on your K-pop, dude.
What?
Yeah,
hey,
shout out Ron.
Man.
Shout out Ron, man. I love Ron. I was fortunate enough to meet him at some screening or whatever, and he's the best.
Yeah, he a worker, man. He out here. But this is a great picture. You see that sword that she's wearing?
Thank you, man.
She has. It's the most prepared interview I've seen.
Shout,
Listen, man, shout out
shout,
Breakthrough.
yeah, shout out Breakthrough. Go check out our interview on the channel right now. You can check it out right after
That's
this.
what's up. Shout out Breakthrough. I never heard it, y'all, but follow me, man. I follow back. Talk to me. This is auxiliary. You see that sword? That's an African sword.
Oh hell yeah! The guy like the Damascus, like or what do they call that? That like kind of blade thing.
Yeah, it's I forgot the name of it, but I wanted them to have some African cultures. Her hair is of the African like warrior style. She has an African warrior sword. I wanted that because I just wanted to blend stuff. One of the greatest pieces of advice I was ever given was stop trying to make comics make sense. He was like, I was like, what
Honestly,
do you
that's
mean?
great advice.
No, it is. He said, because if you think so much about why this makes sense, you forget to just tell the story. One of the greatest examples of that is Superman. Why can Superman fly? Who cares?
Yeah, who gives a shit,
Who
dude?
gives a shit?
Thor rides on a hammer over a rainbow bridge. Like,
You
come
know
on.
this was funny. What's funny about that was that Thor was originally not supposed to be able to fly.
Yeah. Well,
said,
a lot
you
of
know.
people don't. We don't have to get. I don't want to be that guy, but technically Thor doesn't fly the hammer.
Don't be that guy.
Thing, but
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Talk to
Yeah.
me. Talk to me. Like this is what it's about.
Yeah.
Right here.
Exactly.
Listen. We some Thor fans over here, all right? We some Thor fans.
Dude, you got the
we some
Stormbreaker
Thor
too.
fans. We some Thor fans. I got the ultimate one in the garage. It's too big. It's too big. It's a big ass axe. But I got it. We some Thor fans over here.
Bro, where'd you get that Stormbreaker, man? That's
you asked too many questions. No, this was from Diamond. When I worked at the comic shop. I spent $600 on this bitch. And I looking for this is like a 20-year-old. It's all rusty. I don't give a fuck. That's my shit. But when I create, but seeing that, I did research on Thor and the Thor hammers and everything like that. So when I create my characters, the designs are all the way down. And we're Marvel fans, so we love weapons. We love Thor hammers. We love Mjolnirs. We love cap shields. We have
my man's got all the props.
So this one was made by a dude who was on Forged in Fire. He made me this.
I love
this
that
is like
show.
actual. This is like the real shit. Has handles.
Damn.
Holler at your boy. But I love weapons, so when I create characters, I always like for them to have like something like that. So when I created her, I wanted to have a sword that was explicitly hers. If you look at the handle, it's actually a jack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, this is exclusive.
Exclusive
Comic
here.
Corner. Exclusive. No one else knows this, by the way. I have not talked about this with anybody else.
That's what you get here, people. When you tune into Comic Corner, you get all the exclusive info. Yeah, dude, I love the design of her armor here, and I want to highlight this dude because he is my favorite.
Here we go.
I had it written down. This dude's my favorite. I do want to very quickly. Breakthrough Comics, thank you so much for the compliment. I really appreciate it. But I did misspeak. I was thinking of our friend from Resolve Comics when I said go check out that interview. But
Resolve Comics,
yes,
he contacted you.
Yeah, we did. When I said earlier, thank you, Breakthrough Comics, check out our interview, I was thinking Resolve Comics, so I just wanted to correct myself right there.
I got you.
Quick. But Breakthrough Comics, thank you so much for the
shout
compliment.
out to Breakthrough. Make sure you follow me. Shout out to Resolve Comics. I told him to come to you, and it's funny. We started by hating on each other. Me and Resolve.
He told me. Like I said, go check out the interview, and you can hear all about it.
Yes. Go check out the interview. I'll leave it on.
Let's see. Yes, Danny Deadass. I thought that's what his name was. I didn't want to get it wrong. Danny Deadass, bro. Tell us about Danny Deadass.
Danny was a character I wanted I used to play Magic the Gathering, and one of my favorite types of characters were the gun mages. Like, and I thought about it. I was like, so they have a gun, and yet they're a wizard. And everyone was like, yeah, you think about it, makes sense. And what I have is this guy, he's a wizard, but he turned his wands into guns.
Oh hell yeah!
So instead of
Why
using
doesn't
the
every
gun,
wizard do that?
100%. And so what happens is, you know how like in Harry Potter they go explioso and they go like this? He just shoots it. He shoots his spells. He just shoots them. Like, this is it. I was like, cool. Like, but why does he shoot them? Who gives a shit? Who cares? He's
Yeah.
badass. Task makes friend the way superheroes do. They have to have a misunderstanding. You know what's funny? That's also how I met Ron. That's also how I met Ron from People of Color. I meet most of my fans for telling them "fuck you." Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, and then I say, "Hey, wait a minute, man. You're a good dude.
Let's be friends.
Hey, hug it out, hug it out, hug it out." But yeah, with him, I just wanted to do that, and I love the design of Vivi from Final Fantasy.
Mhm.
And just I just wanted him to just look like a samurai. I told him, so if you notice he has like a lot of samurai coding.
Mhm.
Why does he look like a samurai? Who gives a shit? Who cares? And I'll give you a clue. When I write Afro Punks, I make sure I am high as fuck. Everything. So if you're reading Afro Punks, you are witnessing a 43-year-old black man who is stoned out of his fucking mind and just picked up a pen and just said, "All right, let's do this."
I mean, that's where the best ideas come from. And
100%.
I guess I am an idiot because that is a Resolve. So we're all good. Shout out Resolve, man. You're awesome. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, what's up, Rizzo? Oh, that is him. He said,
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, what? I guess I was right the first time.
Hey, listen, Resolve, though, I met all my favorite people by cussing them the fuck out. So you get to. Hey, man, I'm a battle rapper. I come from battling. So, like, my therapist tells me I'm comfortable in conflict.
Again, like we said at the beginning, you're unapologetically yourself, and that's why we love you,
100%,
man.
bro. 100%. Thank
So,
you. Oh, I love to sing.
So like I said, we've talked about some of these characters and stuff, and again, this is your medieval kind of take, but they're also a rock band, which I
Yes.
absolutely love. And we talk a lot about, the crossover between hip hop and comics. I mean, we've talked before about, the Wu-Tang are all nerds, and there's a
They
lot
are.
of crossover between hip hop, but you're going the rock and roll route. So tell me, how does the music fit into this? And also, so what are these guys' deal? Why are
Thank
they
you.
a team?
Great question. If you haven't noticed with my comics, I always throw music into my comics. And one of the main reasons why I'm a big fan of Shinichiro Watanabe. I don't think I've ever told anybody this. God damn. What the fuck?
Give me
He's
all the
good, folks.
exclusives.
He's good, folks. He's good. He's good. I grew up anime. One of my favorite anime creators was Shinichiro Watanabe, who made Cowboy Bebop, and he also made Samurai Champloo. And in every single thing that he creates, it's themed with music. So Cowboy Bebop was futuristic space jazz, and Samurai Champloo was medieval Japan shogun and hip hop. And somehow he made it work. And I feel like people like James Gunn kind of does that too. James Gunn does that with like already made music. But with Afro Punks, when I was listening to it, I was listening to a lot of punk rock, not just punk rock, black punk. And the team kind of was like a rock band when I was doing it. And I was like, hey, what if they were also a rock band? And I remember I was pitching it to the artist, and the artist was like, why would they be a rock band? And I said, why not? And I could just hear the gears in his head. Excuse me. And he was like, okay, screw it, let's do it. And so when I make Afro Punks, they also comes with a soundtrack. And the soundtrack I use only black punk rock bands because there's a lot of black punk rock bands that do not get attention. And so once again, that's a new culture I'm introducing. So not only do you get the comic book, but you also get a soundtrack. I'll give you a name of one right now. You guys can look it up on YouTube. They're a band called Hue, Hue, and they have a song called Home. and they're from DMV, the DMV area, and they combine that rap rock, the best I've ever heard, and I include that with everything I do. In every comic book, there will also be like a type of musical theme that comes with it.
And I love that. I'm very big music person myself, and I find that often it really enhances the what you're reading too. So I love that you did that in Leaders of the Free World as well. And you straight up had a track list for that.
You know what? With Leaders of the Free World, I also make music. I also make beats.
Mm.
I was gonna make like a beat like thing to go with Leaders, and I'm just like, dude, I cannot find the time to do it. You a dad and a wife, your husband. You know we ain't got time for shit. We ain't got time for anything.
Bro, there are not enough hours in the day. I see some people
really
doing
not.
stuff, and I'm like, how? How do you
How?
have time to do this?
Listen, my brother-in-law, I said, yo, the Niners are about to play. He's a Niner fan, unfortunately. And I told him, I said, yo, why don't you come over here? And he was like, you have time to do things? That was his response to me. He's like, you guys sit and watch football? I was like, if my wife wasn't also into football, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh, this is a great picture. So yeah, that's Medusa. I was Googling stuff online and I saw this person do this rendition. She did a photo shoot, a black woman with dreads, but her dreads, her locks were all snakes. So it was like on some Medusa shit. And I remember thinking that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. And so I wanted a lead singer to the band. And I was thinking, who's known for being sirens and like I was like Medusa, yeah. And I saw that picture, and I just said I pitched it to the guy. I was like, "Yo, could you draw me like a black Medusa woman?" And then this is one of the things he drew. I was like, "What the fuck?" He was like, "Yeah, man, I got into it. I got the he based her off of a Species." The Species movie. He based her like look and everything similar to that. And yeah, she's great. She's based off of a character named Blue from Breath of Fire, old Capcom game. She was a half snake lady as well, and she was a black mage, so she would cast spells and shit. So she Medusa is a combination of just a bunch of different things that I like.
Hell yeah. So we got Medusa, obviously Greek. We have our African warrior. We have some Asian influence here. We have our techno robot guy. So again, they're a band, they're an army. Why are they together? Why are they a team? Are they a team? Or are they just kind of reluctantly bandmates?
So let's talk about it. When I first started writing Afro Punks, I was like, damn, how are we going to get them all together? I just did Leaders of the Free World, and I took me a while to find out how they all met and how they all got together. And this snake be biting people when they get hungry. Well, that's one thing that I wanted to put was that they are broke. They are broke, and I was thinking about how they would all meet, and then I started thinking about when Stan Lee was talking about how he created the X-Men. And he was just like, I was having trouble doing origins for everybody. So I just said, screw it. They have powers. They're already together. We'll explain later. And the reason why I did that was I thought I don't like to promote them separately. They are a group. They're like the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So let's get to them already being together because I don't see them being separate. And in issue 4, we talk about how they all got together. Another great way to do it. Did you ever watch Firefly?
I would say it's like ringing some kind of bell in my brain when you said that. Movie, TV show?
TV show that they made a movie called Serenity, made by Joss Whedon. early 2000s.
Oh no, I have not watched this, but my friend back home, one of my buddies, was like obsessed with it and kept telling me to
Yeah,
watch
because it's one of
it.
the greatest. It's one of the greatest shows ever created.
Okay, I have to watch it then.
I
If it has the task approval, sorry, Dylan, yours wasn't enough, but if task was, it's good, man.
I would recommend watching it. It was so good they made a movie out of it after it was canceled. That's just how popular it was that they made a movie after it canceled because so many people were demanding more of it. It's about a spaceship, and when the show starts, the crew's already together. And you can tell that there's history between them. And throughout the series, they reveal more and more of how they all met. Exclusive comic corner. I finished issue 3 of Afro Punks. It's gonna be a choose your own adventure.
Ooh, let's go, dude. Yes, I love when people do shit like that.
That's what I love about the form of comic books, because what other genre can do that?
Yeah,
What other
none.
genre could just be like, you know what, this one issue, we're only doing this.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite comics growing up was oh god, I'm gonna recommend this one to you. Oh my god, what is the name of it? My god. Growing up, I'm gonna text it to you. So basically what it is in each page, each page was a splash scene.
Mm-hmm.
And each page, there was no talking. It was a long fight.
Was it Thor? Thor
It
versus
wasn't Thor.
World Serpent? Walt
No, but
Simonson?
you're good. Look at you. Look
Bro, I
at
know
you.
my shit.
That's impressive. That is impressive. That's impressive.
I honestly was not trying to like be like gotcha impressive. I was genuinely
No.
just
It's
thinking
good.
that could have been it.
Here's the thing, though. That wasn't the book I was talking about. However, you're not wrong either. So, like, that's what I love about comic books. Look at that. Now, imagine if I didn't know this. Then you said that to me, I would have been like, oh shit, what issue was that? Oh, Walter Simonson. Oh. You see? Now imagine if you just told me everything. Then I wouldn't even experienced it. This is what I love about comics. Look at this conversation me and you are having. You're asking me about my comic, and you're bringing up other stuff, and it all comes together. It's a beautiful thing. But that's what I love. It's wonderful.
Baby.
It's wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. But but every single page was a big giant fight. And they also did this for Invincible with Throg versus Battle Beast. I can't wait to see how they do that for the cartoon.
Dude.
Throg versus Battle Beast. That's to me is the best comic book fight of all time. And when people ask me,
I would have to agree.
People ask me how is that the greatest comic book fight of all time? I said it was a fight that lasted like 20 issues. They were just fighting.
Yeah.
Like he was telling another story.
In the background, just the battle be like,
and, like he's telling a story, and then all of a sudden there's a random panel of these niggas fighting. And like they're like knocking each other to different planets and shit. Like I'm like, dude, it went like a whole like trade paperback of them just fighting. And like different ways you could tell stories like that. Like Marvel did the Nuff Said stuff in the early 2000s where every single book had no dialogue in it.
Mm-hmm. I love stuff like that. Just interactive and like it's fun. Because that's the thing I think a lot of comics have kind of lost sight of, and a lot of creators have lost sight of, is like these are supposed to be fun. Not saying that books aren't, but like they're supposed to be fun. And I appreciate when other creators lean into that and make the reading experience itself fun. Like you have I'll shout out Absolute Martian Manhunter. I don't know if you're reading that, but
of course
almost every issue at the very end there's a page where you can like hold it up to the light and it like reflects a different image. And it might be cheesy, corny, I don't know, but I love stuff like that. And I think to your point with making Afro Punks issue 3 like that, it just goes in with the fun of what comic books should be. Plus you have added a fun ass group of warrior people who are also a rock band. Like that's just no pun intended music to my ears.
I appreciate it. Also, another thing that's different about this book, each issue is self-contained.
Another thing I love.
Each issue, that's something that that is a lost art
Hmm.
in comicdom, if you ask me, is the end of the
Oh,
single issue stories.
dude, we're in. I say all the time, we're in the event age of comics. Like you had the golden age, silver age. We're in. Everything has to be an event. Everything has to be. I 100%, dude. I'm so glad you went that route, honestly, because
I remember when events were a big deal.
yeah, they
Like
used to be.
events were a big deal, and like nowadays, if I see Avengers in an X-Men comic, I feel nothing.
Yeah.
But back in the days, the X-Men and Avengers did not, like, the X-Men handled the mutant shit.
Hmm.
Avengers handled the world saving shit. But when they did ever cross over, it was such a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening that X-Men, Avengers have to get together? What is happening? Nowadays, every time I turn around the corner, one of them is in there. Like, they're over here, he's over here hanging out. I remember in the Mutant Massacre comics in the late 80s, Thor's in the Mutant Massacre comics. Why is Thor in the Mutant Massacre comics? And I love the answer. Well, he lives in New York. Huh. Okay, why not? Why wouldn't Thor be there? All this
Yeah.
shit is happening in New York. So Thor's like, what the fuck? Here, come hither and
I say thee nay.
I say by the bristling beard of Odin, my nigga. Like,
By Odin's balls.
like that nigga was like, the fuck? You don't leave these people alone. You don't leave these people the fuck alone. Fucking mutants. Like, like, I love shit like that. But nowadays, if Thor shows up in the X-Men comic, I'm just like, and that's why
Okay.
DC is suplexing everybody right now.
Hey, you said it, not me. I'm just kidding. We say it every Thursday.
You ain't got no choice but to say it.
Yeah.
You ain't got no choice.
Bro, it's so depressing. You know, we're both Marvel guys, so to see
It's Marvel to the socks, but I'm also a fan of comics in the end, and we call a spade a spade. Absolute is absolutely.
Absolutely fire. And speaking of team ups here, so we got Afro Punk. You just said you just finished issue 3. Obviously, we talked a little bit about it, but Leaders of the Free World is where you kind of kicked everything off. Go check that out. But I know you have a couple of other, how do they say, swords in the fire, if you will. I know we've talked before about Sundown Town.
Yes.
Has that come out yet, or is that still in the works?
Exclusive. It's officially drawn as of right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean to squeeze it out of you like that.
No, let's get it out. Let's get it out. Yeah. No, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. So, I've been working my ass off recently. I've been keeping quiet and keeping my head down. The reason why is that I'm going to be doing relaunch of a bunch of different things.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And before I relaunch this shit, I want to make sure all my ducks are in a row, and I want to make sure I actually have things to offer. So we already got Leaders, we already got Afro Punks. Sundown Town's up next. I made Sundown Town because I was trying to learn to be a better writer, and Scott Snyder himself told me, he said, why don't you try and write something that you wouldn't think of writing? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you ever wrote horror? I was like, no. He was like, give it a shot. So I did it, and I came up with Sundown Town. Sundown Town is, for those of you who don't know, Sundown Town is like a real thing. There were towns that, excuse me, during the Jim Crow era, there were towns where it was illegal to be black after 6 p.m. And those were called Sundown Town. So at night, if you were out and you were black, they could either arrest you or attack you, blah, 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 blah. And that's what the Green Book was made for, based off that movie. The Green Book was something that was made. And so when I made Sundown Town, I wanted to talk about like racial relations. I wanted to do it in a different way. I wrote this song growing up called What If They Were Aliens? It's a rap song. And the reason why I wrote that rap song was I was talking, there's a lot of racism in the world, but what if aliens took over? Like, what if humanity had to come together? Are you still gonna fuck with me, even though you don't like black people? Even though you don't like black people and aliens are taking over, they're gonna kill all of us. They don't give a fuck. They're equal opportunity killers. They don't give a shit. So that's what Point of Sundown Town is. A group of vampires get together. It takes place during a zombie apocalypse. A group of vampires have gotten together because zombies taking over. Now their food supply is going low. And so they're like, well, wait a minute. Like, if everyone becomes zombies, what are we going to eat? And so the concept of Sundown Town is a town of different types of not just races, but different type of creatures. There's humans there, there are vampires there are werewolves there, and they're all trying to function together because they all have a common enemy, which is zombies. But they also each other's enemies. So the big question in Sundown Town is my enemy truly, is the enemy of my enemy truly my friend? And there are some humans who are like, what the fuck are you guys doing? How are you doing this? There are other vampires like, what the fuck are you guys doing? These guys are our food. And just so on and so forth. But they all realize they all have to work with each other to get things done.
Yeah, I love all your projects that we've talked about, but I gotta say, I think that might be my favorite. I think that concept is just so damn cool. And when we talked about it, again, we talked about this before we started recording. Everything feels like a million years ago and also just yesterday. But when we talked about it last time, I remember just like, that's such a goddamn good idea. I love that one. But we're at the point now, Task. We just talked about Sundown Town, and I unintentionally got a little exclusives out of you, but Afro Punks is already live on Kickstarter. I put that link up into the comments so you guys can go check that out. And like you said, Sundown Town is in the works. We have a revisitation of Leaders coming as well. Is there anything else that the fans out there can look forward to? Anything else you want to tease? I'm throwing it off to you, my friend.
All right. So, like I said, we got those. You posted the Kickstarter? Oh, the Kickstarter's done. All good. All good. You can click on there. No, it's cool. It's cool. I left the link up there. That's my bad. No, but if you go on there and you leave a message, I'll holler. We'll do all that. You can go get it. It's on globalcomics.com, by the way, or just Google Afro Punks. My shit pulls up. It's a beautiful thing. Or at least it should at least. But so yeah. One comic I am doing coming up is actually just finished too. I wrote a comic about superheroes, but one thing I love more than superheroes, I love supervillains. So I wrote a comic called The Audacity. And The Audacity is my take on supervillains. I wanted to tell a story about supervillains. I watched both Suicide Squad movies and I watched Thunderbolts. I enjoyed all of those films, but I had one complaint. You're pitching, especially for the Suicide Squad films more than the Thunderbolts, but like you're pitching to us that these are villains. But I haven't seen them do anything villainous. Like at all. Like
King Shark ate that one dude.
He ain't a guy that was trying to kill him.
I mean, I think he was a bad guy, though.
Yeah, he was. That's what I'm saying. The only villainous shit I saw was when he did villainous shit to other villains. I'm like, this is not villainous.
That's true. It's very true.
So I wanted to write a comic about villains who are villains. But I wanted to test myself. Can I get the crowd to cheer for the villains? So it's a test. So that's what the Audacity is. The Audacity is, can I get everyone to cheer for the villains, but they're still villains. So I throw them in a situation where you're kind of like, damn, I kind of want them to get out of this. And yeah, we'll see.
That's how you know you have a great villain, though, is that if you can get people behind him. I mean, I was 100% Team Doom, like the first 5 issues of One World Under Doom. I'm like, wait, how is he the bad guy here? I mean, this seems pretty. The Doom Overlord seems pretty dope, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I mean, that's like you said. I didn't even really think about it, but yeah, you never really do get to see villains being like straight up villains, which I think we used to, but everyone's got to be redeemed now. Everyone's got to
because we gotta make franchises, and we can't make franchises out of villains. All hell Doom. Exactly.
I disagree. I disagree with
Talk
that.
Talk to me.
I'm just saying it's possible. It's possible, and that we should do it.
Are you saying we should make our own?
Yes, I'm saying we should make our own villain-centered movie, comic, whatever it is. But yeah, I 100%
Doom
agree
can do it. Doom can do it. Doom can have a series. If they do it, I mean, hey, look at Penguin.
He will. He's going to, now that RDJ is Doom. We're gonna meet back up here, and when does Endgame whenever the hell that movie comes out, we're gonna meet back up, and I guarantee you there will be like 10 Doom projects in the room.
We'll see. I mean, I read the old Doom 2099 books that Warren Ellis wrote, and basically the whole concept of that book was Doom going to different planets and just taking them over.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I love that.
Oh, what was it? Who did he kill in that book? I forgot.
I'm gonna have to think about it.
He had he killed someone in like the funniest way possible. I cannot remember, but it was so good.
Nice. Nice. Yes, I gotta look that up.
Captain Britain or something. I think it might have been Captain Britain.
Probably. Doom is so interesting to me because someone said Doom is basically what if Batman was a dictator and a magician. And
literally. And he's so petty too, dude. He's such a petty little bitch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Doom. I like Marvel when Marvel is consistently on the defense. The heroes are always on the defense, because one thing I've always liked about Marvel is that their characters aren't omnipotent. They aren't. They can get the shit beat out of them. Like, I love Secret Empire, because Secret Empire, I love Marvel when they're on the defense, when the bad guys take over. And like the heroes are like ragtag, we got to get together and like fight these dudes, because Marvel has just the best villains. Like their villains are, for example, DC can have a Legion of Doom. Marvel can't have a Legion of Doom. Like, who would be on Marvel's Legion of Doom? Dr. Doom, Thanos. Stop right there. That's not going to work. Dr. Doom, Magneto. No. Apocalypse, Dormammu. No.
Yeah, villains aren't too good
not gonna work
together in Marvel.
Well, that's because each one of them can take over a planet.
Yeah.
Ultron can take over a planet. Dr. Doom can take over a planet. Dormammu can take over a planet single-handedly. And each one of them has whole groups of people that roll with them. That's why that's why I like it when Marvel is on the defense, because Marvel villains are more powerful than the heroes. Ain't no X-Men touching Apocalypse.
Hey, you never know, man. Kitty Pryde is coming through.
Hey, Kitty will rip your heart out.
Yeah, straight up.
Kitty don't play. We should get mad.
Well, man, I'm so glad we got to catch up today and we got to talk about all these books. Like I said, Afro Punks, that is issue 3, is going to be live soon, hopefully. I don't want to give any specific dates. We have Leaders of the Free World. I was going to say Legends of the Free World. It makes no sense.
I like it too. I like it too.
Downtown, and I mean, everything you've been doing is awesome, man. And I could not be more proud to see all these things come to fruition. Again, we've been friends for a long time, so some of this stuff we've talked about before, and to see it actually come into existence is just so freaking awesome. And I'm so glad
me and you are a great example of why the internet exists, because we're two people from two different backgrounds, two different religions even, and we've come together because we have a love for this. And I would have never met you, and before I wasn't writing comic books, you weren't doing this.
Sure.
We were just two people.
Some idiot, man. I still am just some idiot, but
you're not. Ain't that amazing?
Yeah.
That we were just two people just talking and we did this. To me, that's amazing. That is beautiful. This is the type of stuff we don't talk about more often. Like, this is amazing. Like, great. Look at the, I was arguing with niggas and then we became homies. Like, look at that. That's amazing. Like, to me, that's
all
cool.
About.
That's cool, man. Thank you for having me. This is a blast.
Of course. Thank you for coming again. And
I
invitation
want to
is
tell you
open
though.
always, man.
I want to tell you though. There's some nigga that's watching our show named NTF who wants to come on here. He said he wants to deny everything I said. So he wants to.
All right, MT. All right, let's go, man. Hey, I'll send you the link right now. Which I just highlighted this comment because it was MTF, but I also agree with this comment. We have too many phones in the world.
Exactly. Someone needs to talk about this shit.
Yes.
Someone needs to talk about it.
Hey, MTF, invitation's open, brother. You're welcome anytime too.
I'm gonna watch the show too, nigga, just to deny everything you say.
Oh no, you're hopping in, man. This is gonna be a 3-person show.
Hey, bro, hey, don't holler at your boy. Holler.
Thank you all for tuning in and watching. Again, go pick up Afro Punks. Go follow Task on Twitter and wherever else he is. Follow everything that he's doing.
Up to task. Up to task.
Follow me, baby. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. We will be putting all that into the description. You can follow us at Agents of Fandom, Agents Fandom on Twitter and TikTok, agentsoffandom.com. We got a bunch of reviews, all sorts of great stuff. You can catch Comic Corner every Thursday live at, I think, 10 o'clock. And we'll be talking about all of our favorite books that came out today, including Milestone tomorrow.
Go get that shit.
Go get it. Go pick up Milestone. Go pick up everything that Task does, and then come back here and hear all of us talk about it. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.
Oh, yo, we logging off, right? We logging off, right?
Yeah.
Logging off, right? Listen, get y'all bitch asses up and go buy a fucking comic book, my nigga. Get out there and stop complaining. Get the fuck offline. Stop complaining about shit. Go to a comic book shop. Fuck Comics Explained. My name is Taz. I mean, fuck it. Yeah, fuck all that shit. Yo, holler at your boy, man. Thank y'all for having me. Peace out.